Unit 3 from Economics, lesson name Food Security and Nutrition. Introduction. Food is defined as any substance that people eat and drink to maintain life and growth. Food security would denote a person's ability to eat enough, stay active, and lead a healthy life. Okay, what is food security? The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization defines food security as follows. Food security exists when all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food which meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. While this comprehensive definition highlights the need for food to be nutritious, in addition to that, there are certain other aspects that are required to achieve nutrition security. According to eminent agricultural scientist Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, nutrition security is physical, economic, and social access to a balanced diet, safe drinking water, environmental hygiene, primary health care, and primary education. Basic components of food and nutrition security. The three basic components of food and nutrition security, they are availability, access, and absorption. Availability. It is availability of food is a physical availability of food stocks in desired quantities, which is a function of domestic production, changes in stocks, and imports. Access to food and absorption. Access to food is primarily a matter of purchasing power and is therefore closely linked with the capabilities and employment opportunities to earn. And opportunities in turn are related to one's access to assets and education. Next one is absorption. Absorption of food is the ability to biologically utilize the food consumed. Then availability and access to food grains. Thus, food security for people in a country is not only dependent on the quantum of food available, but also on the ability of people to purchase or access food and to stay in appropriate healthy environment. Just as other developmental issues, food security of people is also related to a country's overall development process. After independence, India chose to adopt a planned developmental model. After an initial focus on agriculture, industrialization was given priority. The recurrent droughts experienced by India pushed her to be dependent on imports of food grains. However, the available foreign exchange reserve could not permit open market purchases and import of grains. India had to plead for food grains from richer countries at concessional rates. United States of America extended assistance through its Public Law 480 scheme to India during early 1960s. A growing country with a massive population was perceived to be a potential candidate for revolution. The American administration formulated a plan to increase food production in the country, producing high yielding varieties, that is HYV, of wheat and rice. This program was implemented in select districts where irrigation was assured. The results were promising and the program was extended to cover a large number of districts. Thus, Green Revolution was born in the country, paving way for self-sufficiency in food grain production. Increased food grain production was made possible by an increased area cultivated with HYV of rice and wheat, as also an increase in the yield of these major cereal crops. Area under food grains was a little more than 98 million hectares during early 1950s. The country was producing just 54 million tons of food grains then, with an average yield of food grains of 547 kg per hectare. The food situation has steadily improved over a period of 65 years. Area under food grain cultivation has grown to 122 million hectares with an increase of five-fold increase in food grain production. Yield of food grains has increased four-fold between the time of independence and at present. This growth in food production was made possible by the HYV program, which was implemented as a package. Apart from introducing fertilizer responsive high yielding varieties of rice and wheat, it ensured the availability of subsidized chemical fertilizers for the farmers. Cheaper farm credit was disbursed to farmers through cooperative banks and societies. Minimum support price, that is MSP. Minimum support price for the crops were announced at the beginning of the season, and the state procured the harvested grains through the Food Corporation of India (FCI). The FCI had built huge storage godowns and built buffer stocks of food grain during the harvest season to be distributed all through the year. Minimum support price, that is it is a price fixed by an expert group for a particular crop by considering various costs involved in the cultivation of that crop. After announcing the MSP, the state will open procurement centers in places where these crops are widely grown. However, the farmers are free to sell in the open market if they get a better price for their crop produce. On the other hand, if the open market price is lower than the MSP, the farmers would get an assured price by selling their produce to the FCI. MSP, that is a minimum support price. MSP, minimum support price. The rapid increase in food grain production was accompanied by appropriate technological interventions in the dairy, poultry, and fishery sectors. As a result, the milk production in the country witnessed an 8-fold increase. Egg production grew 40-fold and fish production by 13-fold between the time of independence and mid-2000s. However, India could not succeed in attaining self-sufficiency in the production of pulses and oil seeds. Therefore, India depends on imports to meet the requirements of people. Then, public distribution system. You know this one. This is a ration shop. So that is called public distribution system. Okay, Tamil Nadu has adopted an universal PDS. The rest of the states in India had a targeted PDS. Under universal PDS, all the family ration card holders are entitled to the supplies from PDS. In the targeted PDS, the beneficiaries are identified based on certain criteria and given their entitlements, leaving out the rest. Both the union and the state governments subsidized the supplies distributed through PDS. The level and quantum of subsidy also varied across states. Subsequently, the National Food Security Act (NFSA) was passed by the Indian Parliament in 2013. The NFSA covers 50% of urban households and 75% of the rural households. These households are known as priority households, identified based on the set of criteria. Priority households of this country now have the right to food supply through PDS. The union government supply rice at the rate of rupees 3 per kg wheat at the rate of rupees 2 per kg and millets at the rate of rupees 1 per kg under NFSA. Tamil Nadu continues to have the universal system of PDS and supplies rice at free of cost to all holders. The government took steps to distribute food grains at subsidized rates through the public distribution system. The nature, scope and functioning of PDS varies from state to state. Biometric system. The government of Tamil Nadu has declared that smart family cards will be issued in lieu of existing family cards. The National Food Security Act in Tamil Nadu. On 1st November 2016, National Food Security Act was implemented in Tamil Nadu after holding out for 3 years. Role of consumer cooperatives in food security. Okay, consumer cooperatives play an important role in the supply of quality goods at responsible rates to common people. There is a 3-tier structure of consumer cooperative societies in India. They are primary consumer cooperative societies, central consumer cooperative stores and state level consumer federations. More than 50,000 village level societies are engaged in the distribution of consumer goods in rural areas. This scheme is playing an important role in food security in India. For example, out of all fair price shops running in Tamil Nadu, around 94% are being run by cooperatives. Buffer stock. Buffer stock is the stock of food grains, namely wheat and rice, procured by the government through the Food Corporation of India. The FCI purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in states where there is surplus production. The farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops. This price is called minimum support price. The MSP is declared by the government every year before the sowing season to provide incentives to farmers for raising the production of these crops. The purchased food grains are stored in granaries. Buffer stock is done to distribute food grains in the deficit areas and among the poorer strata of the society at a price lower than the market price, also known as the issue price. This also helps resolve the problem of shortage of food during adverse weather conditions or during the period of calamity. Next one is fair price shops. At present, 33,222 fair price shops are serving 1.98 crore families. Out of 33,222 fair price shops, 31,232 are run by the cooperative societies, 1,394 are run by the Tamil Nadu Civil Supplies Corporation and 596 are run by women self-help groups. Okay, next one is purchasing power. Purchasing power is the value of a currency expressed in terms of the amount of goods or services that one unit of money can buy. Price increases, purchasing power declines, and vice versa. What is the factors affecting the purchasing power? Before we will see about purchasing power parity, triple P. Concept related to purchasing power is purchasing price parity. What is purchasing price parity? The concept related to purchasing power. Triple P is an economic theory that estimates the amount that needs to be adjusted to the price of an item. PPP can be used to compare countries' income levels and other relevant economic data concerning the cost of living or possible rates of inflation and deflation. Recently, India became the third largest economy in terms of PPP. China became the largest economy, pushing the US to the second position. Okay, before we will see about factors affecting purchasing power, that is overpopulation, increasing prices of essential goods, demand for goods, then price of goods affect the value of currency, production and supply of goods, poverty and inequality. That is the factors affecting purchasing the power. Next one is agricultural policy in India. The new agricultural policy based on export of agricultural goods was announced by the central government in 2018. This policy states that the government has decided to remove export restrictions on most organic and processed agricultural products. Agricultural policy of a country is mostly designed by the government for raising agricultural production and productivity, and also for raising the level of income and standard of living of farmers within a definite time frame. This policy is formulated for all around and comprehensive development of the agricultural sector. The following are some of the important objectives of India's agricultural policy. What is the objectives? Raising the productivity of inputs, raising value added per hectare, then protecting the interests of poor farmers, then modernizing agricultural sector, environmental degradation. Degradation is nothing but to reduce to a lower rank. Okay. Then last one is removing bureaucratic obstacles. That is, the policy has set another objective to remove bureaucratic obstacles on the farmers, cooperative societies and self-help institutions so that they can work independently. You can understand the explanation in heading, isn't it? Okay, so we will move on. Next heading. Multi-dimensional nature of poverty. Okay, what is that? The Multidimensional Poverty Index, MPI, was launched by the United Nations Development Programs, UNDP, and the Oxford Poverty Human Development Initiative, OPHI. You learned this one also, MPI, UNDP, that is abbreviation you learned properly. In 2010, the basic philosophy and significance of MPI is that it is based on the idea that poverty is not unidimensional and that it is the rather multidimensional. Multidimensional poverty is made up of several factors that constitute poor people's experience of deprivation, such as health, education, living standards, income, disempowerment, quality of work, and threat from violence. Multidimensional Poverty Index 2018 report in Tamil Nadu. Over the last decades, the Tamil Nadu has made a significant progress in poverty reduction. The districts in Tamil Nadu are classified into 3 categories, namely high poverty districts, that is more than 40% of the population living below poverty line. Poverty line. Moderately poor districts, that is 30% to 40%, and low level poverty districts below 30%. After 1994, poverty has declined steadily in both rural and the urban areas of Tamil Nadu, and the state has a smaller share in India's poor relative to its population. After 2005, the poverty reduction in this state has been faster than in many other states in India. Tamil Nadu leads in the poverty alleviation programs during 2014 to 2017. Government of India is implementing many policies and programs to eradicate poverty. These policies and programs, if continued, will completely eradicate the poverty in the state. In future, Tamil Nadu can become a model of development in India. You look at the table, top and bottom, MPI, that is multidimensional poverty index. Top 5 districts, then bottom 5 districts we can see in the table. Nutrition and health status. Status of nutrition. We noted earlier that food security includes nutrition security too. Food security includes nutrition security. Though our country has reached self-sufficiency in food production, the nutrition status of the population has not seen corresponding level of the improvement. In 2015, 27% of the rural women and 16% of the urban women, that is in the age group of 15 to 49 years, were counted as undernourished or chronically energy deficient by the National Family Health Survey. More than half of the women in the reproductive age group, that is 15 to 49 years, in both rural and urban India were anemic. In 2015 to 16, as regards children, about 60% of the rural and 56% of the urban children, the age group of 6 to 59 months, 6 months to 59 months, are counted to be anemic. Tamil meaning Ratta Sogai. So in 2015 to 16, about 41% of the rural and 31% of urban children are stunted. That is, they are not of the required height in correspondence to their age. Another indicator of nutrition deficiency among children is underweight, which is weight in relation to age. In India, in 2015 to 16, about 20% of children in the age group of 6 months to 59 months in rural and urban India are estimated to be underweight. Nutrition and health status in Tamil Nadu. Nutrition plays a crucial role in human health and well-being at the national level. Despite higher economic growth, improvements in human development indicators like nutrition levels of the population have been unacceptably slow. A large number of Indian children are stunted. A substantial number of Indian children and women are underweight, anemic, and suffer from micronutrient deficiencies. To address these concerns, the central and state government have been channelizing substantial resources into various health and nutrition schemes and programs like Integrated Child Development Services (ICDS), midday meals, reproductive and child health programs (RCH), and National Rural Health Mission (NRHM). However, an effective scaling up of these efforts is required to mitigate the incidence of undernutrition in the country. Tamil Nadu has played a pioneering role in bringing about significant changes in the health and nutrition status of children under 6 years of age, pregnant women, lactating mothers, and adolescent girls. The government of Tamil Nadu's successive budget outlay for nutrition and health are the highest in the country. The performance of the ICDS scheme and the Puratchi Thalaivar MGR Nutritious Meal Program PTMGR NMP in Tamil Nadu are considered one of the best in the country. The government of Tamil Nadu's policy for a malnutrition free Tamil Nadu guides its long-term multi-sectoral strategy for eliminating malnutrition. The goal is reducing human malnutrition of all types to the levels of best performing countries. In Tamil Nadu, ICDS is being implemented through 54,439 child centers comprising 49,499 Anganwadi centers and 4,940 mini Anganwadi centers in 434 child development blocks, that is in 385 rural, 47 urban and 2 tribal. With steady expansion into unreached areas, increasing coverage of marginalized groups, enhanced allocations and enlarged scopes of service, ICDS is now considered to be one of the world's largest programs of its kind. The PTMGR NMP, that is what is that? புரட்சி தலைவர் MGR Nutritious Meal Program is considered to be the largest noon meal program in the country for combating malnutrition among children, increasing primary school enrollment and reducing dropout rates. Other states in the country have modeled their noon meal programs along the lines of Tamil Nadu's pioneering efforts. Important ongoing schemes in Tamil Nadu. Under Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy Maternity Benefit Scheme, the Chief Minister's Comprehensive Health Insurance Scheme, Tamil Nadu Health System Project, the School Health Program, then the National Leprosy Eradication Program. That is the important ongoing schemes in Tamil Nadu. Some nutrition programs in Tamil Nadu also. That is புரட்சி தலைவர் MGR Nutrition Meal Program, National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education, General ICDS projects and World Bank Assisted Integrated Child Development Services, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana Scheme, PMBYS, Tamil Nadu Integrated Nutrition Program, Midday Meal Program. I hope you are all understand. You learn properly. You learn book back, one word and question answer. Thank you, ma. Take care.